Senator, how are you?
Hi, I'm Mark Andrews, your town administrator, and I want to welcome you to the February 16th Town Administrator's Report. This is a series of programs that are designed to keep you, the Wareham taxpayers, and the residents updated on activities in our town and issues facing your local government. It's my report to you on where we have been, where we are going, and how we plan to get there. This also is a hallmark of 1 year update with respect to the town administration's efforts on a number of fronts. And the first I'd like to speak to you about is our fiscal stability. We have worked very hard to make certain that we have an overall financial plan that puts us in good fiscal footing and foundation to move forward. And how is that possible? Well, we took the Department of Revenue, the Massachusetts Department of Revenue report from June this past year, 2010, and outlined and put in place a financial management action plan. And I'm proud to say tonight that we're 91% complete of the action items that the Department of Revenue had put forward to us, along with the work of our outside independent auditors. These are auditors that come in and provide the town with an updated financials, and also a management letter that provides a series of action items that need to be handled and handled quickly, particularly in these difficult economic times. So being 91% of the Mass Department of Revenue report completed is, I think, a very solid milestone in our fiscal affairs. The second area is that we worked hard to create a unified budget process. You know, I think a lot of effort has gone into making certain that we could unify the budget process, use one set of budget forms between the department heads, the leadership team of the town, to the town administrator, and then along the way to the Board of Selectmen and to the Finance Committee for their review. And we're working very hard to get these budget forms completed. We worked very hard with the new set of instructions. And the theme this year was on strategic planning, to think of ways we could possibly use our resources in a more effective and efficient way for you, the taxpayers of the town. And we have encouraged our leadership team to take responsibilities for their budgets. You know, they need to write their budgets, they need to be responsible for them, and they need to put them into place and get the highest yield, as I've indicated, across the line from department to department. We've also required budget heads or budgets to be signed off on by department heads, and we've also worked to put in place an all-day department budget workshop coming up, hopefully, with the Finance Committee on March 3rd. We've also drafted a budget schedule that we put in place so that we know the timelines and the responsibilities that go with them. We've also worked to overhaul the department, the Community Economic Development Department, to include an outsourced qualified advisor, Mr. Peter Sanborn, to basically put in place the grounding, if you will, for the application for $1 million to the state for community and economic development funding. And we won that funding this year for the second year in a row, I might add. We've worked hard to look at and to monitor very closely our healthcare trust fund that pays for the insurance benefits for all of our employees. And this is an important factor, given that most health care plans are rising at double-digit levels of inflation, and we worked hard to make sure that we have a solid financial standing as it relates to the trust fund, which is a client trust fund for all of the employees of the town. We've enhanced our personnel selection process. You know, I've asked for input from the to create review committees that are made up of stakeholders in town government that include members of the Board of Selectmen, fellow department heads, people that are working hand in glove with other departments, and as we've worked to put these committees together, I have accepted their recommendations, and we have now put in place a new library director, a new director of inspectional services, a new town planner, shared, by the way, with the town of Rochester, a new building inspector, a new harbor master, a new assistant harbor master, and a new assistant town accountant. And most recently, a new financial analyst working in this office, the office of the town administrator. So we have made strides to work effectively, not only in the selection process, but to make sure that the building of this leadership team takes hold and enriches the work of our departments, contributes to their overall success. I've also held weekly meetings with the Finance Committee representative, Mr. Bob White, and they have been extremely helpful in setting the agenda for my report to the Finance Committee most Wednesdays, and reporting back to my Board of Selectmen on that activity on Tuesday evenings. We've set milestones as well on setting our tax rate. This was a very difficult year. Last year the state gave an extra month to cities and towns to set the tax rate. And this year I can say to you we set it on time on December 21st, and that means that we have saved the Wareham taxpayers financing charges and other expenses that would otherwise be due. I've worked hard to listen, and the listening point that I heard when I came here in December of 2010 was that we need to reduce our legal expenses. And what we've done is we've created Friday Law Review Day, which is a free day provided to us by our attorneys at no additional cost to the town. And that also meant in translating success of getting in front of many legal issues and really putting them into perspective. We are running 21% below the benchmark for legal expenses as of the middle part of this year. That's a huge success. We've worked diligently to establish recurring revenue, whether it be local licensing and permits, which should meet market rate. You know, we've done analysis with respect to other cities and towns in the region, and we'd like to be in the market at a right rate, so we're not overcharging our taxpayers, but we're certainly collecting the permits and fees that are at that market level. We've worked hard to put in place with our local delegation, and that includes Senator Mark Pacheco and Representative Susan Williams Gifford, to pass an historic and landmark legislation, and that was the Wareham's Jobs Bill. The Jobs Bill meant that we got 8 additional licenses, liquor licenses year-round, to be able to provide to restaurants in different quadrants of the town, to be able to provide that year-round incentive to bring in disposable income that hopefully helps us with our overall plan, economic development plan for the town. And I know that it will. And I also want to thank the Board of Selectmen for filing that legislation with our state delegation. They have played a pivotal role in that process. We've also used some very unique ways to save dollars and to put programs in place, and that includes college and university credit for interns. And we've had at least a dozen interns to date working on various projects in town, and they received college credit, and they worked on projects in the areas of strategic planning, betterment analysis, energy grants, emergency preparedness and planning for the town. And these have been very successful programs, once again for college credit with the University of Massachusetts and also with Suffolk University, and hopefully announcing very shortly some additional colleges and universities that want to join those ranks. We've also, in the second area, I wanted to take a step back and review the organizational effectiveness of your town government. And I found that we needed to build a higher level, a new level of professionalism, and that's based on the concept of building a leadership team. And the new members of our leadership team are playing very important roles, from budgeting to dispensing and delivering services to you on a daily basis. This fosters greater accountability, and it provides us with, I believe, the best way to deliver the services to you that we need to. We've also settled, one of the major charges to me was to settle collective bargaining agreements that go back 3-4 years in time. And in Massachusetts, they're based on 3-year increments. So what we needed to do was to get out there and demonstrate leadership. We've moved forward as we've settled 5 out of 11 outstanding collective bargaining agreements, and still working on more. And what that means is that we will be able to predict our financial and project our financial liability a little bit more certainty into the future, and we've also made sure that this does not wind up as a major liability on our financial statements, which would be a detriment to the town. We've also worked on making sure that we've integrated fiscal responsibility, settling these collective bargaining agreements, and working with a strong sense of pride in the town's operation in the delivery of services to you. We've worked as well on municipal operations to put in place something called Take Pride in Wareham. Chairwoman Jane Donahue had a great idea about utilizing donated labor to clean up Town Hall. The woodworking, the hallways are cleaner, are more brighter, and we hope to project that out in other municipal buildings, once again at no cost or little cost to the taxpayer. We've worked and I've established departmental leadership team meetings each week, and we've done that at 10 o'clock on every Wednesday. We've also worked into those meetings a number of important seminars, including ethics seminars, open meeting law seminars, and planning for some of our housing needs, working with nonprofit and fiscal affairs, and helping businesses create new jobs and work to bolster our local economy. We've worked better, and we put in place when nonprofits come and use our facilities. We have written agreements called Memorandum of Understandings that provide them with that understanding, that they have responsibilities, certain liabilities if they're in place, that we would work to make certain we have the right level of insurance, naming the town of Wareham in that case as if something happened, as an insurance holder on that policy. We've worked to make sure that to reinforce our ethics questionnaire, which each and every employee and member of boards need to file each year with the State Ethics Commission. The third area, very important, we've worked hard to enhance our internal and external communications. And the meetings that I've sponsored with the leadership team not only happen in a full body effect on every Wednesday, but we've also had individual meetings that helped us, that has helped me tremendously understand the individual needs of our departments and the overall leadership team. I'm also proud to say we've held open office hours, over 150 hours to date over this past year, every Thursday between the hours of 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. We've addressed problems in a timely manner to be able to get people to come in and talk with the town administrator and not hold problems and turn into bigger items down the line, and make certain that they can be addressed in a timely way here in the town administrator's office. I've created a mobile open door policy where I've walked and taken walking tours of each of the villages and the neighborhoods, and just trying to find out what the needs are and trying to address them over time. One of the other items I'm very happy to say on external communication is this report, which is in its infancy, but I believe has played a major role in providing you, the Wareham taxpayers, with information about town activities and giving you an opportunity to provide input back to me on current issues that are important to you. And I want to thank local cable TV access for their steadfast work in helping us get these productions to you in a timely way. We've also reorganized some of the space at Town Hall. We now have a land use department where you can find the planning director, you can find the conservation agent, you can find staff to the zoning board, in the planning board. So all of that land use is in one place, and I've heard glowing reports back from businesses and residents alike on this new office, which is a result office setup, which is a result of a space study that we did back last summer. So we've also convened working groups of boards and committees and commissions on their responsibilities with things like the new open meeting law, which will be a very important part of their operations going forward. And I'm also proud to say that we've had business and education outreach. We're looking forward to the second annual Wareham Works 2012, which is a business symposium coming up at the end of March. We'll get you some more information on that. And also working with the Cranberry Commons Task Force, which was to use a fire site as the hub to be able to generate new business and development on Cranberry Highway. I've worked with the Board of Selectmen on celebrating many items that we've had, many programs that we've had in place. The Wareham Vikings boys basketball team championship that they won in 2010. Recognition of many of our civil servants that have gone through rigorous testing and promotions to be with their families in the town administrator's office or before the Board of Selectmen to recognize their sacrifice and the work that they have done. Chairwoman Donahue's work on the Spirit of Christmas Awards, recognizing some very important and exciting things that have happened in town and bringing that to the surface to let people know how important that is. Appreciation gatherings for Safe Summer 2010 and the barbecue that came with that, and also a season-ending potluck dinner where we did have a very successful summer program with our new lifeguards in place and celebrating a number of other activities in town. So I wanted to bring that to you by way of report, and that is the Town Administrator's Report, which includes the areas that I'll summarize quickly. Ensuring and continuing our financial stability is very, very important. In making certain, number two, that we have the right leaders in place in departments, that we're moving forward in some very difficult, uncharted economic times that we find ourselves in, but we're going to get there. And three, ensuring that we have better communications internally within departments and externally to you, the general public, and holding series of meetings and finding ways to get the information out to the public in the end. So with that, well, that's it for now, and I wanted to let you know, I want to thank you for watching once again. I hope that you found this program informative and interesting, and that you can discuss any issues with me, and you can reach me at my phone number, 508-291-3100, extension 3107. You can also email me at mandrews@wareham.ma.us during my office hours, which I have each week on Thursdays. Walk in without an appointment, no appointment necessary, from 3 p.m. to 5 or 6, whenever we wind up, any Thursday afternoon. And once again, I'm happy to say, and I want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.